You used the phrase game plan about 7 or 8 times yesterday. How much have you been drilling the players in training this week to make sure they didn't make it the same mistakes that they did against France?
We had some conversations. Of course, we do it together with technical staff. So that came. A couple of things came back a lot on the pitch, off the pitch, and I think today our decision making on the ball was good. We created a lot of chances, and also the way the Netherlands played, we could exploit spaces they left behind because they also want to press high, but they couldn't get their press on us. Also because of our decision making, I think. But also our press high on the pitch was by moments really good.
Spoke to Leah Williamson, who admitted this is one of the biggest tests that she's known as an England player because they've never been in this position before. Yeah. How sort of difficult has it been for the players mentally, I suppose? Because, like you said, they've never been in this position before.
Yeah, that was hard, of course, because the consequences of the results are huge. And we knew before this tournament that we were in a very hard group with top countries and with Wales a huge rivalry. So that's not, of course, we knew exactly that we were going straight into finals, and then losing the first game. Well, I said it's not the end of the world, but it doesn't put you in the best position. So we know we had to perform really well today, and I think what I said when we started, the team did just really well. How we bounced back.
Thank you, Luke.
I mean, it was obviously a good game plan today, but how important is Hannah Hampton's distribution from the back in terms of executing that game plan?
Yeah, well, I think I haven't looked it back, but I think she has 2 assists. So the goalkeeper has 2 assists. That's very remarkable, isn't it? So that were brilliant passes. She's really good with her foot. We know that, right and left. And today, she just also got it really right in the right moments. Also had to do the Netherlands tried to push up, and then they're 3v3 in the back. And then when the goalkeeper can pass the ball that way, then you all of a sudden 1-for-1 with the goalkeeper.
Now, are we seeing now why you made that decision to make her first choice? Because she adds that different dimension to your play.
Well, I think we have some other very good goalkeepers, but I know what you're aiming for. I think there were still 2 world-class goalkeepers with different attributes.
England have never lost 2 games in a row since you became manager. What is it about this team that makes them so able to bounce back from a poor result or a poor performance with the best version of themselves?
I think the players reflect really well on themselves and then on the team. Of course, we always review games, and even when games were really well, then there are also always things going well and things not going well. And we don't make it a disaster. So France was not nice, but at the end it's one game, and you want to do better the next game. And I think it's really important also then that you come together, you have conversations together, because it's a team sport. And I think that's what the team does really well and have done again really well over the last 3 days.
Hi, Sarina. Congratulations. You've obviously spoken about how the players responded and they dealt with that scrutiny. I just wonder, like for you as well, because obviously it was a new position for you losing a Euros game. How did you deal with that?
Yeah. Well, I found it hard too, of course. And as I said, with the team, I also knew ahead of this tournament that we're in a very hard group. So that it can happen. But then you need to win the other game. So yes, I felt... I was excited, but at the same time, I felt a little tension too today. But I think that's completely normal. And you really want to stay in the tournament, so you really want to win. But we also know that the Netherlands is a very good team. So same for me, focus on my job, reviewing well, what are the facts and how do we bring people together. And I think our collaboration in the football side with the technical staff is just really good too.
Can you give us a little bit of insight into what the priorities were for your game plan today? Obviously, LJ moving out wide, Jess going into the middle, Alex on the left. Yeah. Was that to provide more structure but still give them that ability to be creative? What were the priorities?
The priority was that we wanted to skip and we want to exploit space, and the Netherlands want to push up, and that we wanted to go over or into players or beyond that first. And I think that went really well. But then there were also moments, then you are on their half of the pitch, then you start playing. And we had some nice crosses too, and we spoke about that too.
Hi, Sarina. Congratulations. You've touched on it there with the changes that you made. You had LJ moving further forward and she scored twice. You had Ella coming into the team and she scored. You adjusted the back four and you kept a clean sheet. How satisfying is it for you as a tactician when all those changes kind of seem to pay off really well?
Yeah, of course, that's really nice. We have conversations all the time with the technical staff. What's best for the team? Who's playing there? Who do we want to play against the next opponent? What fits really well? Which connections work really well? What combination of players works well? And I think today that paid off, and that's of course really nice. But it's a combination of things, I think.
And just specifically on LJ, obviously moving her kind of into the front line, what can she give you in that position which she maybe can't give you as much in the number 10 role she played on Saturday?
Well, I think that the two games were really different. I think the team was struggling against France. I think as a team, we didn't make really good decisions on the ball, and there were so many turnovers that we played them in their hands. I think today we made other decisions, which helped the whole team too. We made better decisions on the ball. And of course, then LJ came in good positions too. I think she can also do that in midfield. But in midfield, we wanted Ella because she has a lot of runs in behind. And I think she played well. She did that well too.
Thanks, Kit. Tom.
Hi, Sarina. Congratulations.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask you a little more about that defensive switch with Alex moving out to the left and Jess moving inside. How late in your preparations did you decide that was the way you were going to go tonight?
We decided that not too late.
Yeah, and
Well, otherwise you would not be in that position. We decided that pretty early so not the day of, but you review the game, then you start preparation for the next game, and then we had the conversation. What do we think is the best defensive line, and then we came to this decision.
Obviously, there might have been a situation, had it been a win by 1 goal today, where you need to be going for goal difference against Wales. Does this kind of give you the freedom to maybe make some changes, maybe give some players a bit of a rest, other players a few more minutes if you go ahead by half time?
Well, that's a little bit complacent, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we think that we can beat Wales, just doesn't matter who we put on the pitch. I think we have a very good squad, but we need a very good performance against Wales because they're very hard to beat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Congratulations on the win, Sarina. Could I just ask a bit more about that decision to swap Alex Greenwood and Jess Carter? It clearly worked really well. Why did you do that today?
That had to do with a couple of things. I think the pace that the Netherlands has, and we expected that in the center. They wanted a lot of runs in behind. They also had pace now with Jessica Grant on the sides. And with Alex, her left foot on the left side, so in possession more, that we hope that we could distribute more going forward.